Yes, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have woken up to another new day. So good morning. And we also say good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. Depending on where you are watching from, I welcome to this program. If you are joining us, share this video, invite others to join. We are live once again. We are here once again to do the needful. So wherever you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. Great and wonderful people. I'm trying to connect to see if we are online. Because in my situation, I might not be able to tell whether, okay, we are live. We are live, and we are live, and we are direct. If you are watching us, wherever you are watching us from, share the video. We have to have a very quick one. A very, very quick one. Share the video, invite others to join. Just one moment before we proceed. So great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, we are here once again to do what we do best, and that thing that we do best is to continue to promote, continue to advocate, to continue to actually enlighten our people, because the enemy, the moment we actually stop, the enemy will take over and then plant a bad fruit in the lives of our people. So that is the reason why we can never relent, we can never capitulate. We will continue to fight until what is right, right is done, until what is rightfully ours is given to us, which is the restoration of Biafra. And we are not going back. Just like I'm on my way to work, I feel like I have to talk to Biafrans, because there are pressing things that I have experienced that is happening around Biafra land, and the enemy is working tirelessly to see if they are going to deceive or change the narrative. But they will never change the narrative for us. We write the narrative. They must follow the narrative that we are writing and giving to them. Now I want you to understand, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, I want you to understand that what we are doing is to make sure that we mitigate the excessive of the seat. We mitigate whatever that is going to make our people to lose their lives. We mitigate them. We want to make sure that whatever we are doing, we are going to be doing it to help our people to thrive. So I don't know what's going on here, but I know we are okay, we are still there. So whatever we are doing, we will never relent, because the enemy is not relenting, and they are working tirelessly to see us lose, to see us actually, not win in this battle. But we are going to win. Of course, you have seen the posts are making round on social media, where people are calling for sit at home on so date. We are told to give the enemy media blackout, and that is exactly what we are doing. And I want those of you who are watching me to understand that the logical way of giving the enemy media blackout is to stop mentioning their names. It is to stop mentioning their names. does not mean that we know that our people, some of our people are very gullible. They will not understand that it is logical. Now, in this regard, you see a poster or a flyer making round, and if we keep quiet in this regard, people are gonna die. And we cannot see things that would destroy or kill our people or take away their livelihood or take away their freedom that we are fighting to restore for them, and we keep quiet. That is not what we are. That is not what we stand for. And that is the reason why we will continue to meet the enemy head on. Whichever way they actually put it, we will give them a befitting reply. And that reply is that we do not have sit at home in this December until otherwise, if our leadership in the DOS, if they report that there will be sit at home, then there will be sit at home. We only have one leadership. We only have one leadership. We only have one command. We only have, one supreme leader, which is our leader, Ohamadike Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Let me be moving because I am a bit late. And you should know that in everything that we are doing, we are disciplined and we are rooted under the chain of command. And that is the reason why we are obeying that command that says we should give these enemies, the criminals, the agent provocateur, a media blackout. And that's what we are doing. Or whatever they present in order to use against our people, we will counter it. So we are countering that thing of sit at home. That is because you should understand that each and every time that our people come out on the street to protest in Biafra land, it is giving the enemies, sleepless night. It is giving these governors sleepless night. It is giving the enemy actually butterfly in their stomach. That is the reason why each and every time they know that you might be coming out to protest, the enemy will start calling for sit at home. Does that make sense? So I want those of you who are sharing those flyers to understand that there will be no sit at home. The enemy is trying all their best. He's trying all their best to show that they are, doing it. They are trying to test their popularity, which is not gonna happen. They will never receive any popularity. Not with IPOB struggle. They will never receive any popularity because their popularity is dipped in criminality. So through their criminality, they can actually test their popularity, and we cannot allow them because they are targeting something big from the politicians. Like I told you, they are trying to see if Tifubu will see them as those who will be able to stop whatever they are planning to stop in Biafra land. So that is exactly what they are doing right now, and I can assure you they will not succeed. There will be no sit at home. I believe that Mazi China Sanworu will be online this evening, and I hope that he is going to counter that criminality, because their plan is to continue to kill our people. Just like you see their cohort, their people, their colleagues that has been, left them behind, confessing that they are killing our people. And we will continue to educate you. We will continue to make you not to fall into their trap. Those of you who are propagating sit at home, who are in Biafra land, maybe because you don't want to go to work, you work in the bank, you don't want to go to work on those days, I want you to rethink, because you might be the one, or your family members might be the one that these criminals are going to target and they are going to kill. Because a person who throws a stone inside a marketplace, I don't know if you are aware of whom that stone is going to meet. You might not be aware that it might be meeting your mother. You might not be aware it might be meeting your father or your siblings, because these people, they do not think They just do what they feel that they can do in order to steal from you, in order to test their popularity. Their cheap popularity is the reason why they want to kill you. So we are calling on Biafrans across the world to continue to share and propagate that there is nothing like sit at home. It is not declared. Whenever what we can, what is obtainable right now is people taking onto the street to protest for the release of our leader, Ohamadike One of Biafra land. That is the only thing that is obtainable right now, and our people are doing it. And there is, anybody who is trying to do something different, it is actually that person is trying to stop that, to stop that important move that our people are making willingly. So we cannot allow them, we cannot let them do it. Because each time we are trying to get a result, the enemy will always try to strike. But we will not allow them to strike this time. We will always face them head on. We will meet them at their weakest moment, and that weakest moment is now. There is a pamphlet that I have shared across media platforms, across my platforms. If you go to that platform, you should share that video, share it, and make sure that whoever that is actually, it doesn't matter what they are commenting, the criminals are bound to comment. It is free of charge. Don't worry about what they are going to write to you. The most important thing is that you share that there is no seat at home in Biafra land. Once you share it, I say that so it is very, very important that you do your part. And your part is only but to share. The only thing you have to do is to share those, edited pamphlet. Of course, those of you who want to edit it in your own way, the media blackout you are going to apply in that platform, where the agent provocateur is, their names are written, you scratch them out, you remove those names in those pamphlets, and you now start sharing, cancel it, write it, it is a fraud, it is a fake, because share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it across any platform where you are, share it on WhatsApp, because their fastest way of delivering their criminal messages, it is through WhatsApp. And we are going to respond. If you are on their WhatsApp groups, you share them on those WhatsApp subgroups. You make sure you continue to share them, because we cannot allow the enemy to enter our house. In this December, so many people called me yesterday saying that what is the meaning of this? Asking me, is there sit at home in Biafra land? That people are trying to, are getting scared. People, especially people who have things to do, they saw this pamphlet, they believing that it is IPOB that is declaring sit at home. Then I told them I am going to take it upon myself to actually make this video to tell our people that there is no such things like sit at home. You go on with your various businesses. Anybody, I said anybody that you find on the street trying to disrupt your going out, trying to disrupt your protest, catch that person. If you find anybody, any criminal trying to disrupt your protest, trying to disrupt you from going to work, you give them, that person, a jungle justice, because they are criminal. There is nothing like sit at home. Sit at home is not declared. When you want to hear, if you don't hear it from Radio Biafra, it is invalid. If there will be sit at home, you will hear it from Radio Biafra, and make sure you tune in to that Radio Biafra today, because I know that Mazi China Samoru is going to be coming on air today. I believe that he is going to actually announce this that I am saying, which is very, very important, through the medium of Radio Biafra, so that our people will be well informed. And I repeat, anybody who will come and tell you sit at home, if you catch that person, if you are in position to catch that person, and anybody who will come and intimidate you with the guns or anything, If you are protesting, catch that person, send them to judgment. Because suffer not a witch to live. That is the slogan. You suffer not a witch to live. They are criminals. They are the ones that are killing you. They are government agents. They can never let you be until you make a move, until you tell them enough is enough. Fulanis are killing our people in the bushes. Fulanis are killing our people all over the place. Their criminals are actually exacerbating the problem by creating things that will make these Fulanis to go and take over our forest without people seeing them, because that is what they are contracted to do. They will keep you inside. Fulanis will be traveling, going into your forest without nobody seeing them, or to take video of the atrocities that the enemies are throwing at our people. And we are here to defend and protect our people. We cannot go back. Regardless of what you think, I don't give a damn. I don't give a hoot. If you wanna, if you wanna write rubbish, you write it from now till tomorrow. If I feel like I don't like it, I actually remove it or I block you. Very, very important. We don't care about what a vagabond think about what we are doing. All we know is that we are truthful to our cause, and we will continue to propagate this gospel in a manner that it will favor our people, and it will favor those who are truthful to the cause, and those who are fighting and doing everything to manipulate the narrative, to change the narrative, to redirect the narrative, to hand it over to these politicians who are not allowing us to breathe. Can't you see that you cannot breathe in that damnable contraption called Nigeria? And yet, you are always trying to make them to, dance to their tone. So many of you will come out and say, you are giving water. You don't know you are giving water to yourselves, to your family members. Imagine foolish people. Some of you are unemployed. Some of you are doing menial jobs to survive. One criminal will be coming to actually, instigate you into abandoning your job. But they are going about their own jobs, and you are buying it. Why is it that on that day of sit at home, they will go to their job? They will not even come online until evening when they are done with whatever they are doing for themselves. Because there is a saying that says that a leader leads by example. They will go to their various jobs. I know what I'm saying, that they will try to do that, but it doesn't make sense. Why do you think that each and every time they see our people waking up from their slumber, going out there to protest? Because it is the biggest fear of these people you call your leaders. The biggest fear of those you call your leaders in Biafra land today, it is that protest. That protest is their biggest fear. So each time you come out to protest, they are very scared. They have to do whatever they have to do to send you back inside, because they prefer you sitting at home. When you sit at home, they prefer it instead of you coming out to protest, because they remember what happened, that Lekki toll gate ended SARS. Regardless of what they have created after the end SARS, Lekki toll gate ended the SARS that we know, right? Through protest. Protest is actually the easiest way to revolution. Do you know that? That is the reason why each time you engage, the enemy will want you to disengage. Each time you engage in protest, the enemy will put up a narrative that will counter that protest narratives. And you cannot buy in with the, with the distinction of the enemy. Because the model you are using is the best of them all. You see, that protest, it must continue. It should continue. The whole world is watching, and they have seen that if anybody come to intimidate you while protesting, because everybody knows that Biafra land is bleeding, the means of people's livelihood has been taken away. How? By actually burning the market every day. When you sit at home, the Fulani will sneak into your market, they will burn it. And by the time you wake up to go to work the next day, you will not see market to go to any again. You will remain hungry. And those who are instigating you will never come for your aid. At least when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was there, he actually aided so many people. You understand that during the time of sit-at-home COVID-19, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu aided and gave so many families food parcels. He did. The easiest way to achieve what you are looking for, take it onto the street. Take it onto the street. That is the easiest way, because the whole world is sharing your grievances. The whole world is following that protest. Because of what happened in Lekki Tollgate, the whole world are paying attention each time you take it onto the street. That's the only thing you don't understand. Whenever you hear an idiot telling you that there will be sit at home, disregard it. It is those your politicians that is actually making that to happen. Whenever you don't hear it from Radio Biafra, disregard it. Don't send me any pamphlet or message. If you don't hear it from Radio Biafra, don't send me pamphlet asking me, is there sit at home? Sit at home. If there is anything that will happen in Biafra land, you must hear it from Radio Biafra. If you don't hear it from Radio Biafra, disregard it. Because I will not entertain you sending me messages on WhatsApp. Do we have sit at home? What is going on? No, I won't entertain it, you know, because you need to know better. You need to know better. You will understand that what we are doing, it is actually combating the enemy. Making sure that whatever we do, you know, we are making sure that everything we do it for the benefit of our struggle, for the benefit of our people. We are not doing it to actually harm or exploit anybody, but we are doing it to actually keep you safe and facilitate the release of our leader. Because the release of our leader, if you want our leader to be released, actually you should, you know, bring more momentum to that protest you are doing. Bring momentum to that protest you are doing. Extend it. Extend it. Because in everything you do, consistency is the key. If you protest one day and go inside, believe you me, it won't, you know these people are hard in hearing. You see your government, you see your politicians, they are very, very hard in hearing. If you don't give them something that like that of Lekki Tollgate, they will never listen. You see? Have you ever seen what is solved in Nigeria through sit at home? The answer is no. So you believe if they want to have sit at home, there is sit at home in Abuja and Lagos. That is where the sit at home is happening, not in Biafra land. If you want to have sit at home in Lagos and Abuja, that is where it is happening. It is not in our land. A point of correction. Because this government, these governors, they will do everything they can. They will cross every mile. They will do everything they, they will try everything at their disposal to make sure that they impoverish you, to make sure that they disrupt everything that you want to do to help yourself. They will do it. They will do it. And that is the reason why you should never allow yourself to derail. You should never allow yourself to be manipulated. You should never allow yourself to be carried away. Because once you get carried away, once you capitulate in everything they are throwing at you, they will enter you. Never you capitulate. If you insist, then you will. That is the you guys don't understand what this, the teaching in the Bible that says, the kingdom of God during the time of Abraham, that the kingdom of God suffereth violence, but the violent people take it by force. Do you know? Do you know what that means? It simply means that consistency. When we talk about violence, it is consistency of that regard. It is not violent that you will go and start beating each other. You will go and start. It is consistency. If you go out there to protest, plan that protest. Make sure that you are not actually making 2 hours protest. Because if you do it 2 hours, 3 hours, these people, they don't give it. They don't even see it. Organize a protest. Organize a protest that will send messages to the world. If you organize that protest, stick to it. Don't let anybody tell you different. If you want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be released, in that protest, remind them that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience. In that protest, remind them that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime. Remind them that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted of every frivolous crime leveled against him by the Attorney General Malami, the clan that does not believe in Western education, the clan that does not believe in civilization. That is the reason why the nation is never evolved. The nation stood still stagnant for ever since you were born. The nation is been in a stagnant. The nation is been stagnant. It doesn't move forward. It doesn't move forward. It's actually decaying. Your infrastructure, accident happening everywhere. This is not, this is epidemic you are having in Nigeria. Bad road causing accident everywhere. Air pollution, noise pollution by generator every day. Do you think you will ever have a good life? That is the reason why so many of you are dying young. Because of the pollution. You cannot even actually take in a good oxygen, because what you are taking in is a polluted oxygen with the petrol or this gas from the generator, from cars. It is pollution. It will not enable you to live long. That is as a result of your diversity, which they will always tell you that there is strength in your diversity. There is never a strength in your diversity. There is death in your diversity. There is backwardness in your diversity. There is, envy in your diversity. There is inequality in your diversity. There is prejudices in your diversity. There is, there is terrorism in your diversity. These are the things as a result of you are dying, you are suffering, you are not moving forward, and you can never move forward, because when you look at it, you will understand that all these things that these people are doing, at the end of the day, who are there to pay for it? Their children are studying abroad. You were on strike for how many months? As if it wasn't enough. As if you are not understanding that these things are coming from your political leaders. It is not because there is something that you did that kept you on strike. It is your political leaders, because they have no political will to actually make sure that they make a plan that will keep you in school. Whether you go to school, it doesn't matter. Do you know who is a ruler of your nation? How can a nomadic person who believes in moving cattle from places to place, and you are going to school, if Western education, do you think the person who does not believe in your type of education will invest towards education system in order to give you a better education? When they wake up to believe in that type of education, they send their children abroad. And you will be there wasting your time. At the age of 30, you are not even working. At the age of 40, you are not even married. At the age of 50, you are still useless. This is as a result of bad governance. And you can never ever get anything or receive anything from a bad governance. If a leader is a terrorist, the whole nation becomes terrorist. If a leader is illiterate, the whole nation becomes illiterate, because they will never ever bring in anything to education system that will make people or make it easier for people to go to school. If a leader is a gangster, the whole nation practices gangsterism. If a leader is a criminal, the whole nation becomes criminal. Because the leader will select every cabinet that are criminals. Those cabinets that are criminal, do you know how this criminality will touch base with every area in your nation? Because all these cabinets that are criminals will select another cabinet in their own disposal that are criminals. Those will select other ones that are criminals. Another one will select, because they will never select competent and those who have the political will to do something that will be in the benefit of all these people that voted them into power. If you are a criminal, that's why they say that the bad egg corrupt the good ones. If you are a criminal, you employ me, I am sincere, I have a political will to actually change the situation of my people. Do you know that the system is going to corrupt me? If the system cannot corrupt me, the system will victimize me. The system will take me out because they cannot corrupt me. That is the reason why you can never get a good leadership in Nigeria, because it starts from the top. It will touch base with everywhere. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. That if you have a criminal as a leader, the nation becomes a criminal country. If you have intellectual as a leader, the nation becomes intellect. Because intellectual look for intellect. Terrorists look for terrorists. Criminals look for criminals. Entrepreneurs attract entrepreneurs. Business inclined attract investors. If you don't have this quality, in any of this quality, in your leadership position, don't you ever think that there will be anything that will happen that will work in benefit of that country. But guess what? What do you have in that contraption called Nigeria? A mask wearer. Those who move cattle from place to place. Do you think they will transition you into the 4IR era? Do you think that? No, they would not. They will bring you to backwardness. They will bring you backward. That is a replica of your presidential capacity. Is what you see a nation to be. Let's say Peter Obi know how to save money today. Peter Obi transition into that position of a leadership. Peter Obi will only save money. You will be going hungry. You know, a lot of you are countering what Soludo was talking about Peter Obi. It is true that on a normal circumstances, Soludo is supposed to support Peter Obi, right? Now, there is no normal circumstances in Nigeria anymore. There is no normal circumstance. Everything is never normal. Nothing has been normal in Nigeria. Don't you get it? On a normal circumstance, you're supposed to support him. But there is no normal circumstances. Now, you want to bring it to the initiative of Soludo, Peter Obi claiming he saved money from Anambra State. Does it mean that the infrastructures are put in place during the time of his regime in Anambra State? That is exactly what I believe that Soludo is trying to do. That is it. And, you know, when you don't understand leadership in a country, so many of you are saying that Soludo is actually imposing taxation. I don't know the activities or criminal activities of Soludo, because the reason why I am touching base on this, I know a bit about financial matters. Now, when you say Soludo is imposing too much tax on Anambra, you don't understand. The only problem you will have, if he is imposing tax on the Anambra, there is no infrastructure, there is no security, there is nothing that will actually show that he is taking your tax. That's when you need to start fighting. That's when you need to start reacting. Because in Biafra land, you will pay tax. Don't think that because we are fighting, you will pay tax, but if you pay tax, you will understand that your tax paying is going into service delivery. Because Soludo might be somebody who knows how to manage economy. He introduced monetary policy in order to mitigate excessive borrowing, in order to mitigate their interest rate, or their inflation rate in their I don't know if how they actually talk about it in their state, or whether it works together with the whole Nigeria. If he was a president doing what he's doing, bringing in monetary policy, in bringing petrol hikes, bringing in interest rate, it is actually to bring down inflation rate, because these things, they have a rippling effect, either positive or negative. It will favor some people, it will not favor some people. Whenever there is introduction of monetary policy, it favors some people. Most of the people that it favors are those who have money saved in the bank. When they increase the interest rate, those who have money that are saved in the bank, they will actually benefit more. Those who are borrowers, lenders, or those who are lendees, or lenders rather, renders, they will actually be the ones feeling the heat of this monetary policy, because they borrowed. The interest rate to repay back their loan is going up. Now, in that regard, if Soludo is going through this monetary policy, taxation, taxing people, increasing the tax in order to, solve your infrastructural development, I believe he's going through a good route to actually solve your infrastructural challenges. But if he is not solving the infrastructural challenges, that is when you have to now criticize him and call him a criminal. This is a reality I am talking about. Like I said, I actually put up a disclaimer. If Soludo is not doing whatever he is doing, if he is killing your people, I do not know. If you bring me a proof that he has killed somebody or he has done anything, which I did in the past, I will actually come here to expose him. But when you are complaining that he is taxing in Anambra too much, I don't think there is anything much wrong with it. If he is killing, if he is not doing service delivery, bring it to me, I will expose him. But telling me he's taxing you doesn't make sense, because a tax is a tax. A tax is something that every nation must pay in order to foster infrastructural development. Now, that's by the way. Coming to what he said about P2B, you said that some of you are actually finding it, on the other way around, that Soludo talked bad about his brother. If you want to think about it, Soludo might got into this position of leadership in Anambra State. I'm saying this with a simple interest. For those of you who will twist my judgment, I want to, the reason why I'm doing this, we want to show the world that we know what we talk about. We don't just exaggerate. We know what we talk about. Each time we come online, we know what we are talking about. We are not reporting, disinformation. We are reporting a factual information that we know about. Now, if we talk about Anambra, Soludo came back to the seat after after the governor emeritus, which succeeded P2B. Actually, Soludo now came in. Maybe Soludo inherited a lot of debts that need to be serviced. Now, at the end of the day, Soludo will now look at the runnings of the previous governor, check, the record of the one before him, and find out that this debt that we inherited is actually even coming from the other previous administration to this administration, because this administration does not have that political will to service this debt, or actually does not have the competency to actually find a way to curb this debt. Now it transitioned into his own regime. Now Soludo is now struggling. There is no infrastructure, but Peter Obi say he saved money. Why did Peter Obi claim he saved money in Anambra State, while Anambra to Enugu Expressway is a bush? People were even selling the piece of land. The last time I actually passed there, people were selling the road as a piece of land. The last time I passed there. I know that so many of you may argue that it is a federal road. It takes a good governor to actually make that federal road to be fixed. It takes a governor that has a political will to attract this criminal in the executive to make sure that they do what they have to do. That is the reason why it takes you as a good follower to actually make those enforcers of law to enforce the law. You that is a voter, each time you vote, they will always tell you the same story. When they go there, you will start clamoring, crying on your own space. You will never cry it openly, the way I am crying it openly. Do you think there is something that is going to be done for you? No. It is only those who knock on the door that the door will be open for. It is only those who ask that will receive. When you think about it, when Bible tell you, ask, you shall be received. Knock on the door shall be open for you. Do you think he is telling you to hide in your bedroom and be asking for what you deserve, or be asking for the dissolution of Nigeria and you believe it is going to be given to you? Do you think sitting at home will, give you the freedom you are looking for? You should actually make people know that, show people your grievances through expression, freedom of expression. Through that freedom of expression, which is very, very effective, and that is the reason why the government of the day will never allow it to happen. So coming back to where I have digressed, Soludo saying that to Peter Obi saving money from the Anambra, that it is not working. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense, because there are many things that needed to be done. Soludo might be a criminal on his own. That I am not arguing. He can be a criminal of his own. But the reality check we need to focus on. We follow the reality. We follow the news where it is. How it is presented. When you tell me about Peter Obi going to save money for Nigeria, when there is millions of problems that you will have in Nigeria, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. That's not what we are fighting for. We are fighting for good governance, good leadership, but we are fighting to achieve that in Biafra land, not in Nigeria anymore, because Nigeria has reached its peak. They have crossed the Rubicon. They will never make it right. Do you understand when somebody cross a Rubicon? It means that it's a point of no return. They will never ever make it right, because the people who are saying to the affairs of the Nigeria state, they are nomad. They are caliphate. They don't believe in what you believe in. They don't have political will. They don't know politics. Those who are trying to actually fight them through politics, they are worse. They are worse in knowing politics. They don't even know as much as those Fulanis are playing. So how do you think you are going to thrive? How do you think you are going to win? In this regard, you will never ever succeed. You will never ever win, because these people you are trying to fight, saying that it is Igbo presidency, they know that, they know that jungle politics. You see, jungle politics, that's what they practice. And you are practicing that jungle politics as well. They know it better than you. But if you put them on a scale 1 to 10 in the world, you will give them 2. Because they know jungle politics. 10 is positive. And from 5 downwards is negative. You give them 2. That means they practice jungle politics, which is what is destroying you in Nigeria. It will never enable you to thrive. You will continue to strive. You will continue to cry. You will continue to die because they want to prove a point. They want to make their point that you can never stand up to challenge these jungle politicians. They are all criminals. All of them. From Soludo, as long as you are under this Nigeria jungle politicking, as long as you are a politician in Nigeria, you have taken part in criminality, one way or the other. None of them is different from one another. So that some of you who will be believing that saying the truth with regards to the sentiment or comment made by some of them, or like Soludo, that I am actually siding him. I'm not siding him, but I'm telling you how a country is being run. I'm telling you how economy is being run. Each time there is introduction of monetary policy, it is either to bring down something like inflation rate and to give strength to your currency. 2 of them. And it favors one side, it doesn't favor one side. It favors those who have, when is monetary policy, favors those who have the money inside the bank. And it will not favor those who are borrowers. It will never favor them. It will also favor financial institutions somehow. So in this regard, that is the reason why we need to know what we are getting ourselves into. In case when we call that type of shot in Biafra land, people will start murmuring. Because the education needs to start here. We need to show them their transgression. We need to show them how we can actually not, mitigate that transgression from happening in Biafra land. Because you will not say you will curb it. You will mitigate it. Is it gonna come? It is going to come. But it takes those who have a political will to actually put these things right. We are dealing with human beings. But the problem that we're having in Nigeria, we deal with those who are actually, who walk like human being, talk like human being, move, act like human being, but inside them, it is animal. Inside their heart, it is actually animal heart. They don't have human feelings. They don't have feelings. So they will never do anything to work in your favor. They will never do anything to, to bring up the reputation of that country. Just like you see the justice system being embarrassed, being embarrassed by Malami. He is embarrassing the justice system. Do you know why? Do you know why he is doing it? Because he does not want anything that will release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason why he has no choice than to embarrass the justice system. Because if he releases Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will expose, might, according to them, might expose what they have discussed with him, trying to convince him, the promises they want to make with him, and it might actually disturb their 2023, where they want to Islamize you, where they want to totally emasculate you. So, the protest is all about release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Anybody telling you about sit at home, that person is a criminal. He is a criminal. Now, let's look at it. Let's look deep into it. Let us stretch it. My time is going. I think I have okay, 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes to round up. Now let's look at it right now. Let's talk about it. If you are talking about sit at home, what is it going to yield in this struggle? As it is now, you have sat at home every Monday for almost 2 years, right? What has it yielded? The answer is nothing. Have you now seen how some people are leading you through the same process that you are being led in Nigeria? Using the same approach at every given time, trying to claiming that they are going to give you a different result, which is not the case. The same way that the politicians are taking you through. Each and every year, they use the same approach. They will expect to get a different result, which is actually negative. That is what they are trying to do again. You have sat at home for complete 3 months now to be 2 years. Nothing has been done. Can't you use your mind? Use your sense. Use this thing. Seek ye first the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom. That wisdom, that knowledge God impacted in your brain. Seek it. Then you will understand exactly what is going on. Because if you cannot get sense, you will continue to dance in the tone of these criminals that are exploiting you. And the only thing they are doing, it is all about trying to steal from you. That is the only thing that they are doing. They want to use you to prove to some politicians that they can boycott the election. That's exactly what they're trying to do. If you buy into it, you are a criminal as well. Because criminals attract criminals. Good people attract good people. That's why I have given you an example of Nigeria. Because they practice criminality, they will always attract criminality. The whole world is evolving except Nigeria. They are transitioning into, means of artificial intelligence. People are building robotics. That, people are playing God. Do you know that people are playing God? Nigeria is still, is still moving cattle from place to place. Do you know how people are playing God? People are actually manufacturing robots in God's perspective. They are manufacturing robot, creating a brain of a robot that, a biological robotics. They are creating biological robotics, even in African countries. Studying God's perspectives in order to use it to create biological robots. But now the challenge is that if you create emotional robots, which we think like human, they will make irrational decision. Irrational decision. Because human beings, the reason why we make mistakes is because of our emotions. That is how they are going to colonize you again. By building biological robots. Your manpower you claim you have, it will not be needed anymore. Those robots are going to do those jobs you are running to oversee to go and do. It will now rely on those who have that skills. If you don't have that skills, those who are doing menial jobs, robots will take over your menial jobs. So for those of you who are saying, one Nigeria, you send your children abroad to go and live or study. You are thinking that this evolvement, this is the way the world is evolving. That you are still going to have an opportunity in that global stage. It is not going to be like that for a very long time. You might not have that, you will not occupy any position in the global stage because the world has evolved. And you have not evolved with the world. You are backward. Therefore, they will colonize you through industry. Your oil that you are bragging about, the oil that you are using to kill Biafrans today, you will never, it will be useless in the world. Electric cars are being built, manufactured. People are rolling it out there in Africa. People are rolling it out. Electric cars. People are in the era of technology. Era of technology. So many of you are in the era of going to church every minute. Going to church looking for miracle. Never die by fire. You people are still in that era. There is a news I came across where people went to do baptism in church and they were washed away by flood. Ununeme baptism. They went to do baptism. They were washed away by flood. Those pastors who survived, they are nowhere to be found. These are your religious affiliation destroying you. Because these people who gave you that religious, who introduce you to that your religious affiliation, they use it to oppress you. They use it to manipulate you. That is the reason why you find places where you should build companies, factories, and employ people. They build the biggest auditorium, and people will come there looking for miracle instead of coming there to look for employment, because it was supposed to. That money was meant to build factories. Your religious affiliation is part of your problem, and that is the reason why you cannot understand whenever somebody is trying to lead you into captivity. You will you fight those who are there to save you, and you embrace those who are there to kill you. That is the problem we are having. Even it is a problem, universal problem in Africa. You might not understand that you are doing it, but you are doing it. IPOB is there to guide you through your freedom. That is the reason why we come online every day to preach to you, to advise you, to lead you out of captivity. It takes a man who is free upstairs to actually be able to do anything that will be beneficial to people around him and to himself and to his family. You must be free from mental slavery. You must decolonize, because the mental slavery that you are going through, it was done, through the process of colonialism. It passed from generation to generation. You don't know that some of the teachings you are giving to your children, you are colonizing them. You are actually instilling that colonial mindset into their brains. You are actually, replicating the colonized mind that you have in your children. You wouldn't know about it. But that is the reason why we are here to tell you, don't make yourself available for somebody to use you. They will always use you for their own selfish benefit. You will be thinking that is the reason why this hard day always come. When you will be making mistake, when a child is going to a fire, we will be telling this fire, come out from where you are going. There is no road there. You continue going there. At the end of the day, it leads you to destruction. Narrow is the way that leadeth into life. Broad and beautiful and attractive is that road that will lead you into captivity and into destruction. And you will not understand it. You will see that the DOS activities is narrow and is not attractive. That is the reason why so many of you will reject them. That is the reason why you will see that the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu activities is narrow. Narrow is the way. Narrow is the way that leadeth into life. Broad and beautiful, attractive is that road that will lead you into destruction. And that is what they are giving you today. They are giving you hope where there is no hope. And it will only end you. Because what they are doing is actually, you know, the worst things that somebody will do to you is to give you hope where there is no hope. Then you will relent. You will actually be believing that something is coming, wasting your time when there is nothing coming. You believe that they are making plans for you when they are making nothing. You will not want to hear this gospel. You will not want to share this message, because message of truth, it spikes, you know, it actually spikes your heart. It's something you don't want to hear. I don't blame you, because you are colonized. It's something that bites your ears each time you hear it. You don't want to stay put, to understand it, to actually hear the submission. You want to run away. That is the way it is. Mentally enslaved people, you can come out of it only by making something right. One decision can change the narratives, can change your lives. First of all, tell pastors to stop building auditorium. If they build it, let them fill it up themselves, so that they will have space to build factories. You have space to build industries where people are going to be employed. Secondly, protest for the release of our leader. Actually, that is the first of them all. Protest for the release of our leader, Ohamadike. Secondly, position your mind to positivity. Look around the world, look around the free countries, ask yourself, is there any place where they are building these things? All the things that that is happening in Biafra land that is leading you into captivity. Have you seen them happening in Western world? A lot of you were deported from Western world, so you know what is going on. These your leaders, they are going to Western world. They go there every day. They come back. They will not bring anything home. They still live in their ignorance. Ask yourself, is this what you are going to do to give a better life for your children? It is not. Whenever you become confused, the reason why it is said that God is not an author of confusion, it is because confusion will lead you into captivity. Confusion will deprive you of your blessings. And that is the reason why you should never be confused. The enemy is always up and running, proactive to confuse you. And that is the enemy that you find manipulating you into you leaving your protest that you are doing, into going to sit at home, believing that it is going to help you to thrive. In this quest of self-determination, you have done it 2 years almost. Has it helped anything? Has it healed anything? Listen to the word, take the word, throw me away. That's what I'm asking. Meditate and think about it. Think about the time you started sitting at home. What has it yielded? Nothing. And think about the protest that people are waking up to do. And think about in the past what protest yielded for the whole indigenous people to destroy the monstrous SARS, even though they created more other things. But at least it showed you that protest does a lot. Protest triggers revolution. Very, very important. One day, you will remember me. What is going on here? I believe I am late. What is going on here right now? It is not what you want to hear, because you are biased. You are being confused. You have been led into captivities of the agent provocateur, believing that is something that will come out of them, because broad is that road that leaded into captivity. Narrow is the way that lead into life. And that narrow way is what we are taking. And I am actually calling on the DOS, advising them, if you people can, continue doing what you are doing, regardless of anybody who want to stand in your way, be it Canon Takano,
be it Aloy Ejimako, be it whoever, do the decision that will help the struggle to thrive. Because if you make a mistake, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu comes out, he will ask you, give account, why did you make this mistake? And I will be with him asking you, I will actually join force to ask you, why have you made this mistake? Because this ship was handed over to you to actually pilot the affairs of this ship. Why have you actually allowed the enemy to redirect the narratives? Make your decisions because he saw you worthy of those positions. That's why he gave it to you. He knows that you can do it when he is not there. And he told us to listen to you. So regardless of the messages, manipulative approaches the enemies are using Ejimako or anybody else, you know, it shouldn't move you. Because the question that will be asked, did I ask you, DOS, to listen to the lawyers, the Ejimako? Do I send message through Ejimako? You will be the ones who will be on the receiving end of these questions. Not me. Not any other person. Not Canon Takano. Canon Takano is one Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And Adebu one nebu. Iwe one Nadielu no. No matter what Canon Takano does today, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will not kill his brother. He will not despise his brother. He will protect the interests of the family because that is what he must do. And you cannot blame him for protecting the interest of his family. You need to understand that. For those of you who will be thinking that if he come out tomorrow, he will lash at Canon Takano publicly, I will not even support that. I wouldn't support that. So, whatever that is going on here, your family member, as you know, Nebuya. So, whatever they are doing, don't think that it is going to actually make you to make a bad decision and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will come and clap for you. He will not clap for you. He will reprimand you because he gave that key to you. Because you know you will make a right call. Not a biased one. Not adulterated one. He knows you will make a right call in his absence. So I am calling on DOS. Continue doing what you're doing. Don't listen to anybody. Because the reason why the provocateurs are rising from every cracks and corners of the world, it is to destroy and redirect the narratives so that they will not, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will not find you worthy. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will now, they want to make Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to say, this is the reason why they have advised me to actually ignore you people, to destroy DOS. They want you to make that mistake. That's what those criminals who betrayed him are trying to put you through. Because they want that position where you are at. That's the only reason why they are fighting you. It is a conflict of interest. They want your position. That is the reason why they are lying to people, telling them you did this, you did that. The only way you will actually win, do your decision by yourself because you have what it takes. And that's why I give you my support. And I will continue to give you my support. And I know Biafrans are behind you. And they will continue to be behind you. We don't have seat at home in Biafra land in this December until you hear it from Radio Biafra. I am calling on Mazi Chinas Anworu. Please let it be part of the things you are going to address this evening on Radio Biafra. Please, it is my suggestion, my humble opinion. It is not a command, but it is my opinion. And I have reasoned it. This is very important. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. The release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a task that must be done as soon as possible, and your protest taken into the street will make it happen faster. Thank you.